This week on the Wounded Warriors in Action podcast, host John McDaniel lays out the vision for the podcast to help spread the word of their mission to honor, connect, and heal our combat wounded Purple Heart heroes through the power of the great outdoors. Let's join John now.
All right, thank you. All right. Appreciate that. I always wanted to do that. Anyway, my name is John McDaniel, and I'm the founder and chief executive here at the Wounded Warriors in Action Foundation. We're a national 501c3 charity, and we've been faithfully serving our nation's combat wounded since 2007. So we're coming up on our 15th, 16th year, and we provide world-class outdoor sporting activities for our nation's Purple Heart recipients. And we do that to honor, connect, and heal. And we're going to talk about those three important pieces to our mission set as we unfold this. But we're starting a podcast series, and we're gonna call it the Wounded Warriors in Action, or WWIA Podcast. And we're going to use the subtitle there, Honor, Connect, and Heal, because those are very powerful words, and they really do help shape our mission set. And so the purpose there, the why are we doing that? I think let's just talk about those pieces. Why are we going to launch off and do a series of podcasts here to honor, connect, and heal? And let's just use the honor piece. Honor our nation's combat wounded Purple Heart recipients and the service that they provided this great country. I mean, if in my opinion, if you bleed in our boots or wear our country's uniform and get wounded in action, then you're a hero, period, dot. And it's been happening for, over 225 years here in our nation's history, where men and women have gone off and fought, in foreign wars someplace and got wounded in the process of doing it. And I think that all too often that we don't, the nation in our past, we're doing a pretty good job today, but we haven't always honored the great sacrifices they've made, and not just in the field, but also when they return from combat and re-enter our society. I think you can't say enough, you can't do enough to thank them for what they've done. So that's the honor piece. And also, I think there's a chunk of that honor part that we're trying to pay forward by saying thank you to all the great Americans out there who've been helping the foundation, helping advance our mission set across the country. And this is also a way of honoring them, thanking them for what they did. They're all volunteers. 100% of the people that support the foundation are volunteers. We don't pay people to put on these great events. They volunteered to do it. And today there's something like 45 missions in 35 different states, where we're helping honor, connect, and heal our combat wounded. So the honor piece, I think, is two-sided, mostly for the heroes, but I think we're also, in this case, in the podcast, honoring our great hosts and people who've added a lot of value to the foundation and our value chain, by providing resource, sometimes monetary, sometimes in kind, sometimes just in the way of support. So the honor piece is important. Connect. That's the second, the third leg of the stool, if you will. The connecting heroes with each other. Their fellow Purple Heart recipients. It's a very important piece. Once you've come back from combat and you've been wounded, and you're surrounded by others who are also wounded. That's a very powerful thing. Sometimes they know each other. Most of the times they don't. But that purple medal that they have all earned, the Purple Heart medal, is something that they all share in common, and there's a lot of connective pieces and parts to that are very powerful, and also connecting them with great Americans and communities who care, and connecting them with the great outdoors. So there's lots of connective tissue there, if you will, and so connect is an important word that we like to use. And then the heal piece, healing. There's the healing power of the great outdoors. There's healing, I think, in the space that we've created across the country a great safe place for men and women to come together, to be honored, to be connected, and to be healed. And in the healing, I mean, think about it psychologically. People across the country are opening their homes and their hearts to these heroes. We provide a long weekend, a 4 or 5 day expedition where we're hunting or fishing someplace out there in America, often using people's private property to do that in their homes, and surrounding them with people who care. And that's got to feel really good to somebody who, who's been there and done that in combat, come back to this country and, have to take off their uniform because of their wounds and the nature of what's happened to them. And then people who they don't know are opening their hearts and homes and saying thank you in a very unique way. I mean, that's part of the healing component. And of course, the great outdoors is the centerpiece to all that. So that's really the purpose of the podcast: honor, connect, and heal. And the method, how are we going to do this? I sat down the other day and I scribbled a list of people that are important to me and important to the foundation. And very rapidly, the list is greater than 26, but I identified with some of my staff members, the top 26. So in 2022, we're going to try to do 26, podcasts, and each individual or individuals are going to be part of this thing are people who've added a great deal of light, to the foundation space. And it's really remarkable what they've done. Again, they're all volunteers. They're like master healers. They don't even know that they are, but what they've done, by way of this work, this volunteer work, is really saving a lot of lives. It really has. And if it hasn't saved lives, it most certainly has changed a lot of lives. And this is just my way of, introducing you, the great audience out there, to these amazing people who have really done a superb job in advancing our mission set, this honor, connect, and heal our combat wounded. So, the results or the end state, what are we looking to do? I guess mostly increase public awareness for what we're doing. And there's a lot of people that are probably listening to this that never heard of the Wounded Warriors in Action Foundation and our work. So this is an opportunity, and you can, catch us on all the social media channels. I mean, we got a great website, Wounded Warriors in Action Foundation, or WWIAF.org. You can find it on the web. You can find it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're on all those platforms. But really, going back to the results or the end state of why we're doing this podcast, I think it really will help strengthen what I refer to as our value chain. You've got to invest forward. You've got to invest in people. And this is our way of circling back to some of these great people that have helped advance this mission set. And in that process, we're going to introduce a lot of stories, things, the unique things that have happened out there that they've seen that I haven't. Yes, I'm the original host. I'm the original guy that started doing all this, but it's grown to this day where there's like 10 or so missions out there that I've never even been to, communities and people I've never met. Now I know their names. I know where they are. I know what they're doing. I sign all the operational orders that get these things going, but I've not met many of them, and that's we're going to try to fix that. I'm going to put the show on the road, if you will, go out across America and meet these great people who are just doing phenomenal work, that are helping, help our nation's combat wounded heal through our mission set. So, that's really, the whole purpose of this thing. And I hope you guys enjoy the ride with us. And, I appreciate your support. And there's lots of ways for you to help. I think the easiest way for you to learn about how to help is to go to our website, WWIF.org. Click on the About tab, and you can find us there. Either learn about the foundation or, how to get involved. There's a tab for that, how to get involved. And, every journey starts with a step. And so we hope you enjoy this. We appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
To learn more about the mission of the Wounded Warriors in Action Foundation and how you can get involved, please visit our website at WWIAF.org or follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Thank you for listening to the WWIA Podcast and for helping us honor, connect, and heal our combat wounded Purple Heart heroes through the power of the great outdoors.
If you like what you're listening to here and would like to join our team in our mission to bring healing power and recovery to America's Purple Heart heroes, please become part of our Sponsor a Hero team by clicking on the link in the podcast notes or by going to wwiaf.org/sponsor. That's wwiaf.org/sponsor. Our heroes need you now more than ever. Thank you.